A very good afternoon, everyone. So, Anusha will be starting with the SaaS offering, and then I'll be covering the PaaS offering part of the presentation. So, Anusha.
Yeah. Okay. So, hi everyone. I'll be covering SaaS offerings first. Let me share my screen. So, is it visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Thanks. Okay. So, now let us discuss what ArcGIS Online is and what value it brings to the customers. So, basically, ArcGIS Online, like you can
Anusha, go
huh,
for the presentation mode. Presentation.
go for. Okay.
It is not in.
Slideshow, you're only. Okay, now it is okay, sir?
Yes, it's fine, Anusha.
Yeah, okay. So as I was saying, using ArcGIS Online, you can bring data to life by creating content-rich, interactive maps that often tell us a story. Whether you are in a meeting room, at your desk, or in field, you can access the different contents. You can access the same map on all your devices at any time. And whenever we are ready to publish, share, and do many more things with your maps. So basically, it equips you with different contents and different layers that are available in the global community, and it is very much there. So it is nothing but it is an Esri's software, and as it offers, sorry, basically software as a service is nothing but like AGL is an offering of Esri, and it is an offering as a SaaS. So first let us understand what does software as a service means. Now, software as a service means the end user doesn't need to install anything. The SaaS provider, be it Esri, Microsoft, anyone, install and maintains the software on its own servers, offering a service-based interface through which end users may use the software's capabilities. Now, this offers several benefits to the customers. First being, uh, it offloads the technical overhead over them. It also saves their time. Now, the main benefit of SaaS is what value it brings to our customers. Okay, so obviously, if they uh, like if they have more time, so obviously they will take it to focus on content development more rather than budging over the technical expenses, the time that they pursue over them, and so other than that, we have a simplified procurement process for the same. Now, the customer is free to focus on its own information products rather than wrangling over the IT infra, as I said. And the annual subscription is also simple. It also doesn't bother upon the complexity of obtaining servers, IT personnel licenses, and so on. Now, upgrades and enhancements are also done without the user's awareness, so that no planning and no investment are to be procured from their teams. And moreover, we have transparent upgrades, so it will be notified when any upgrade is there for AGL, so it will be easier for you to encompass. Then next, we have cloud-hosted SaaS. Now, all the rich information, sorry. Now, as I said, it is a cloud-hosted SaaS that has um, multi websites and apps. For example, we have numerous of our field app pools, we have dashboards, we have story maps, and we have another inbuilt capabilities that will be going to, few of them we will be going to cover today. Now, we will more focus on the components that will power simpler components such as feature layers and so on. We have different item pool here. For example, we have web mapping applications. There are certain available layers, dashboards, notebooks. Then along with these, we can manage our content. We can create different content as well. Within an organization, we can search the pool of living atlas. We can share and collaborate as well. So this is about that. Now, in the next 10 to 15 minutes, I'm going to talk about the powers of ArcGIS Online with broad strokes of components that will be involved in this. So, as I said, it's the rich information products that ArcGIS Online users create. They leverage the queries, they get the responses from all this. Like, for example, I have data stored in AGL. I will simply host a feature layer and I can use that layer maybe in the configurable app, or I can use the our very own JS API as well to leverage the functionalities. I can customize also. Now, it is our choice that how we can author our app with different elements, how we can perform, how we can make use of it, and so on. Now, the next question is like, what are users actually doing with AGL? So let's start with items. We have numerous of web maps, as we say, we almost have 9 million of them. We have dozens of web mapping applications as well, hosted feature layers, and so on. So currently, we have over 1.5 million users in AGL and over 100K organizations. Now, uh, for example, each organization creates different contents and perform different workflows to accomplish their jobs and projects. Okay, they can have different members as well. We have different user roles assigned. We have different roles available in the organization as well. So we can assign a different creator role, GIS professional role, and so on. Then when we talk about users about ArcGIS, we talk it as a black box that does everything from data hosting to trends that we are going through to viral maps to complex analysis and so on. Then we have different workflows as well. We can make maps, we can make apps, we can explore the data, we can analyze them. We have plenty of field apps as well. I said that we can perform field work on them. We can manage data, we can share, we can collaborate, and so on. Now, as our user base grow, the complexity and range of work grows and changes. So basically, we as an individual, we as an organization, we need to adapt and we need to change our user needs. So with ArcGIS Online, it is now time to start uh, like it is time to start talking about them in a major go, and like how the workflow will impact the users and how we can make the use of all the workflows that we have mentioned here. Then okay, I forgot to mention the items that we already have. We have the privileges of sharing it, whether it's a generic data, then we can share it to everyone. If it is our private data, then we can make it private. Then we can make it private. And if we want to share our data with only our organization, then we can share in organization as well. Now next we have typical SaaS SLAs. So basically, as I said, ArcGIS Online helps users to share, explore, and manage data within their organization, supporting different types of workflows. Now, there are apps which highlight maps for exploration, communication, and so on. So basically, it depends whether we just want to have it as an offering or we just need to customize it, whether we have different performance availabilities for it. Now, some apps may help users to find things while others help organization to manage their workforce. So it depends upon the individual service or multi-service. For example, the ArcGIS.com website, the REST APIs, base map services, hosted feature services, tile services. Then at some point we have JSON data as well. So all this comes under multi-level SLA. And for individual, we can work on individual services as well. Now again, ArcGIS Online's value to an organization is, I believe, is limitless because it is a single SaaS entity which can be useful to executive managers, knowledge workers, field personals, and so on. Not only it allows us to organize and manage data, but it like just by making a simple map, we can, as I said, we can access the map from anywhere. We can make it editable. We can leverage it in many apps, for example, in instant apps, in configurable apps. So as AGL comes with its own suite of applications, so we can do that easily, not just by sitting in our offices, but in like anywhere, as I said. It has APIs as well. It has cross platform supports as well, and so on. Okay. Then next we have basically I have divided the flow that we are going to cover today in chapters. So let us go through each one of them. Now, again, as I said, we have different beautiful 2D and 3D maps and scenes. For if we are talking about 2D, then we will be talking about map. And if we are talking about 3D, then we will be talking about web scenes. So, like no one has really measured the sheer size of Esri's ArcGIS online GIS data, but confidently, it is the largest that exists today. All things considered, there is a tremendous amount of content for you and your organization as part of uh, ArcGIS online. Not to mention the base maps we already have, and they are like the data in them are really expanding day by day. So now the next question is what you can do with this data. So we have app for field. We have field apps in the pool, as I already said. Now you can build some pretty good applications for your smartphones, for your target audiences. And it's not about just making the applications, it's about it follows a flow. First you will meet your needs, like what exactly you want to do, what exactly your audience wants, what exactly your client wants. So you we should first start with the collection of data. For that, like we uh, we need different approach. For example, if I need a story to tell, so I can collaborate, I can move on to story map. It describes the details, and it tells a story that resonates everywhere. Then for other examples, we can for monitoring purposes we can use dashboards, and for normal applications, we can go for instant apps. We have different templates. We have web app builder applications as well that I'm going to showcase. So as I said, first we'll collect the data collection. We have different pools of apps. We have Survey 123, we have field maps, we have quick capture. Then we have storage analysis, which includes uh, ArcGIS Insights, ArcGIS Hub, and then we can monitor them using dashboards and story maps. Now, like we have, as I said, we have field apps. We have field apps for planning, analysis, and monitoring, uh, analysis and reporting, and at last we will monitor. So basically, let's uh, start with an example. Like you might need a web map, you might need data collection form, you need editable feature layers before getting into the field. So we need to go into that. Like we need to make our map first. We need to add layers in that first, and after that we can let our clients, we can let our users collect the data for us. Once they are done, then we have extensive capabilities for analyzing, visualizing, and disseminating the data that is being collected and updated in field. Once we are done with this, we can monitor and evaluate the same data s- back in our office so that everyone keeps an eye on the data closely. Yeah, so we have different app suites for monitoring workflow. We have Survey 123. So basically, Survey 123, it is a form-centric solution. It allows users, it allows field workers to answer the simple questions and manage their location so that they can collect the data. Then we have field maps, we have quick capture, and finally, once we are done with collecting data, like as per our requirement, we can compare the field apps, and then we can select our basic app that we will be using to collect data. Then once we are done collecting the data, we can monitor the same using ArcGIS dashboards. So these are all configurable apps. So they are a pretty good suit to collect and visualize what we will be going through. Now, next step is designing of web maps. For this, I will be doing an hands-on. Now, at first, we can sign in with our AGL account. I hope everyone has an AGL account already. Once we are done with that, we can explore many tabs over here. At first, we have gallery. So in gallery, we have different items available with us. It will be seen in gallery only. For example, I have different maps, I have different layers. So all can be filtered out based upon that. Then we have map viewer, we have map option. Let us make our first first map. So as I said, it is a simple 2D viewer for geographic data. We can add different layers as per our requirement, points, lines, polygons, and so on. So let's start with base map first. As I said, AGL offers a variety of base maps. So we can change the base maps as well as per our requirement. This is imagery. Then we have topographic, then we have dark gray canvas and so on. So currently we will be going with topographic only. Now, instead of a plain web map with the base map only, what we can do is we can add different types of data. Okay, as I said, we have incredible amount of data uh, in AGL. So we have different options of adding the data. Either we can search for layers in our content only. We can browse the Living Atlas. Living Atlas has a pretty good amount of data. It is really commendable. Then we can add the layer from web as well. Like this is the option of how to reference web services from online. These are mostly in REST services form. Next, we have add layer from file also. If you have your own data on your personal computer, you can add the data in the form of a zipped shapefile, CSV, and so on. All these options are available here. So since it's an hands-on, so I will be I will be searching the data in Living Atlas. So first, let's start with boundary. I search for India admin boundary. I can add it on map. Now, suppose on top of it, for example, I want to search for any live data. I can take any soil data, any temperature one, or for instance, let's take traffic data. So I'm going to add this service here. Then in the map viewer, we have an option of search place as well. I will search for it. So as you can see, I have added two layers. One is the India admin boundary and another one is traffic service live. Then we can see the contents, whichever is there on map. We can change the base map as well, and we can have a look at the legend as well. Okay. So basically these are traffic incidents. So the red lines are critical, the yellow bordered are major, minor, and so on. So we can view the different types of legends from here. Then we have different widgets as well, for example, directions, measure, bookmarks, and so on. For instance, suppose my map is ready and I need to showcase it in, I need to add it in any separate web app. So what I will do is I will simply save it. I can add tags as well, so it will be easier for me to remember later. I can choose a folder in which I can keep. Okay. Okay, so now once it is saved, I will go to share option and either I can share it with a link or simply I can, if I want to make it available to everyone, I will simply click on everyone. Otherwise, if suppose I want to leverage it in a web app, I will click on it. I will have a plenty of options to go to, configurable apps, web app builder, dashboards, and so on. So we have different instant apps, for example. We have countdown, we have crowdsource polling, interactive legend, sidebar, minimalist, and so on. So let's start with basic web app. Right. So I can do different things with it. If I want to edit the map, I can open it in map viewer as well. I can edit the symbology, pop-ups, and so on. Currently, the pop-ups are disabled for it. Legend is enabled. Header also, if we want, we can enable the header. It will showcase the title only. I will enable the hover pop-up. I will enable the locations as well. Then I can add different tools for it. I can add the layer list. I can add the screenshot tool. I can add the search tool. I can configure the settings from here, like search open at start. The default search will be ArcGIS World Geocoding only. I can change the theme and layout as well, like what I want, where I want, and the widget placements as well. Once I'm done, I will simply publish it. I can launch my instant app. Since I have added the screenshot functionality, so I can download this particular image. So this was about instant app. In the similar way, we can use the app, use our web map for creating a web application, web app builder application. I'm going to show that as well. We will be going to create 2D application, 2D web app builder application. So this is the interface of ArcGIS Web App Builder, and it is configurable only. We can select the web map we have just created. I can save it. I can change the extent from here, and whatever extent is useful for me, I will click on use web maps default extent, or suppose if this one is okay. Suppose if this one is more general for me, I will use current map view, save. Then we have different theme options as well. We have foldable theme, we have dashboard theme as well. So I can change the theme as per my requirement also. Let's add one or two widgets to have a great idea about it. So for example, I need to add a directions widget. I will click on it. We can configure it as per our requirement. Suppose we have a different routing layer available with us, then we can use it instead of the default one. Suppose we have a different search layer as well, a geocoder search layer as well, so we can use it. As per now, I'm going with normal default series geocoder and directions and routing layer. Yeah. So if I click on directions widget, it will allow me to enter at start 1 point. Then suppose I want to go from here to here. Yes, so it gave me a clear route of directions, and definitely it said heavy traffic. It shows us the distance as well and the time through which if we start from if we start from right now, so approximately 15 minutes away, we will be going from here. We can add another, we can add another points as well. We can add barriers. We can add another things as well. Like all these things are configured only. You can leverage the possibilities here as well. And we have 2 layers, so I can add another widget as well. That is swipe. We can configure it as our requirement. Let's take spyglass. Okay, save, launch. Now, like the admin boundary is swiped with world traffic service. If I click on Indian admin boundary, so like Indian admin boundary will be visible inside, and all of it, like the other layer, like suppose we have only one layer as of now, the traffic one. If suppose we had multiple layers, for example, barriers, routes, radiators, and so on, so those will be visible inside particular. I can see I can visualize the content more if I want anywhere, any particular circle. Suppose this is the inner circle, this is where I want to view. So in Web App Builder only, we have different widget. Like we have a good amount of widgets available here. It is the whole widget pool. We can have a look and we can explore different types of widgets over here as per our requirement. And then we have different options as well. For example, as I said, themes. I can change the name from here as well. I can click on save and so on. So this was one of the component of AGL, ArcGIS Web App Builder. Then in the similar way, we have a different we have different views. As I said, we had web map and web scenes. So web scenes is nothing but a web scene is a type of 3D viewer. Generally, we have two types of web scenes. One is local and one is global. So for local, we have a small study area. For example, we want to study our neighborhood. We want to study small streets and so on. For global scenes, we have much larger area, for example, continent, ocean, and so on. So basically, this is a 3D web scene. Here we have these many layers I have already added: building, wireframe, interior space, walls, doors, and so on. If I want to view it accordingly, I can turn off any layer. Suppose I only want to view building wireframe. So I will turn off rest of the layers. It will allow me, it will impart me an idea of the buildings and all. I can visualize them by panning and zooming them. Then I can filter it by floor as well. For example, I want to view the contents in second floor. So it will show me the contents of second floor. Third floor I can also view. So like these, we have different scenes available. There is another example of this. Like all these are available very much in your AGL inside the scene tab. Here also I have added multiple layers, for example, wind turbines, woven, water. So for example, let's go to wind turbines. So this is a scene view already. So the moment I clicked on wind turbines, it make me go through the wind turbine area. So we have different examples here. For example, different tools here. For example, daylight. Suppose I want to have an idea of daylight tool. I can view it accordingly, like how my wind turbine shadow will be rotating at what time. I can change the base map as well. I can analyze. I can analyze my scene. This is the basic measurement widget. Like horizontal way, I have covered this much. Vertical way, I have covered this much. So like these only, we have different options. We can use them. We can view them according to our requirement. These are examples only. We can find them in our ArcGIS online under the scene tabs. Now share and collaborate. Now finally, you can share your web map. Once you click on the share button, you can choose like the whole world can see or only a few of your organization members can see. You can change symbols also. You can configure pop-ups as well. You can customize your pop-ups and you can share the same. Now, as you all saw, we need zero programming skills to start there because we have dozens of templates available. We just need to explore and all our solutions are right away. We just need to search, open, save, and share. We can extend these with the help of web APIs and so on. For for web app builder configuration, as I already as I've already displayed, we need zero programming skills for that, and you just need to configure widgets based upon your requirement. For example, I did for directions, swipe, and so on. Now we have like mobile app workflows as well. Like the AGL provides an entry geoform on top of Esri collector. If you want to download this app, you can go to Android Play or Apple App Store. Like it is a basic app of collecting fire hydrant data. You can go over it. Now we can build custom applications as well for the platform. Developers can work with users, group content sharing. They can work with web APIs, mobile SDKs, and we have ArcGIS online data as well, as I showed. Now, if you want to take a step further, you can use a bit of JavaScript and you can leverage the data stored in your ArcGIS online portal or ArcGIS server. You can use ArcGIS 3.x if you want to explore new 2D widgets, new 2D tools. And if you want to explore 3D, then you can go for ArcGIS JavaScript 4.x. For this, you need programming skills. So we will be covering that in the next session, ArcGIS PaaS offerings. Now we have ArcGIS data security. When you have your own collection of data in your AGL, you can share that either only with your organization or you can publish it so that the whole world can see. Now, the capabilities of AGL is almost limitless, as I said, and with new developments, it's emerging regularly. Now, uh, the hands-on that I showed, we changed the base map, we added the data, we shared it to public, we shared it app and web app builder application. Now you yourself can create the 3D web scenes or the customized app. Uh, One last thing that I want to show in AGL is one editable layer. Now, this example also we can find it in AGL only. It is public layer and it is editable. So basically, this is hazard type layer, road not. We have different categories here like dangerous animal, dissatisfied customer. So we can we can gather our editing and publishing skills from here only. First, suppose I want to work on data, I want to work on symbology. So I will click on just a second. I'm not signed in. Yeah. Yes. So as I clicked on edit, so it allowed me to snap one feature. Suppose I want to edit any one of it. I will change the status to close, priority as low. I will update it. If I open the pop-up, okay. If I open the pop-up again, we have different map tools here as well, like directions, measurements, locations, and so on. This is also an advanced version of Map Viewer Classic also. We have different elements here as well. We have styles. Suppose I want to change the symbology. I want to change the other symbology. I will click on it. We have different shapes as well. Basic shapes, symbols, and so on. Suppose I want to keep this symbology, I will click done. This is also done. Yes, so as you can see, my other types, the symbologies are changed to what I have changed just now. So this is a basic editable layer. You can also choose any layer as uh, as we saw, we can search from Living Atlas and we can create our feature layers as well by adding the data from our computer. And then we can perform more analysis, change styling and so on. And then we can leverage this web map in our web app builder or any configurable instant app that we have. So this was it for AGL. Now, at last, we have another offering of ArcGIS Insights. Now, ArcGIS Insights is an analysis software that fuses location analytics with open data. Now, what we can do with Insights, we can use our relevant data. We can map the visuals with it without any limits, with different trends, with different graphics and so on. We can put our data into context. We can analyze the questions and we can deliver the insightful results. Now, how we can do that? We can first bring in our data, which can directly we can directly connect with our data. We can put our data into a page by performing a drag and drop operation, visualize the data on cards, maps, and so on. We can find the answers in our data by analyzing them. Like we can use the default options of aggregating the data on map, uh, make predictions, join the data spatially, and so on. And ultimately, we can show them by sharing it with our users. So we can clearly communicate on how we have arrived at our results, share a step-by-step model of our analysis, or create an interactive data story that informs the internal or external stakeholders. I have an insights example ready for me since it will take more time to configure it. So I can directly show you. I'm sorry for inconvenience. Okay, no issues. We can continue with PaaS offerings. So for that, I will be passing it to my co-presenter, Shubham Singh. Once I'll be finding that insights example, I'm going to get you people through that. That's for it from my side. Thanks.
Thank you, Anusha. So I'll be share my screen. As you all went through the SaaS offering, but what about the people who want to make it more custom and do it through the code? So now we look into the PaaS offering of our Esri. So understanding ArcGIS Platform, a PaaS offering. Platform as a service is a category of cloud computing services that allow customers to provision, instantiate, run, and manage one or more applications without the complexity of building and maintaining the infrastructure typically associated with developing and launching the applications. ArcGIS PaaS offering, known as ArcGIS Platform, is a location-focused platform as a service for when you need to integrate location capabilities into your apps, business systems, and products. ArcGIS Platform delivers as discrete services the technology that powers ISRI's own industry-leading mapping and spatial analytics products, which are used by thousands of organizations worldwide. With this level of access, you can build innovate solutions using the most comprehensive, high quality set of location services, data, and mapping tools available. ArcGIS platform allows developers to extend ArcGIS in ways they have already familiar with. The platform can be used with existing ArcGIS products or completely independently as well, allowing developers to build standalone applications. You can embed location intelligence into existing apps or deploy your location services within an organization's infrastructure by leveraging a system to system development pattern. We support popular open source libraries, mapping libraries, including Leaflet, OpenLayers, and Mapbox GLJS. And with the work we have done to enhance our backend services, you will be able to use these libraries and pivot to our location services with just a couple lines of code. With ArcGIS platform, we are enabling a broader community of developers to use maps, location services to build solutions that are powering the world. Now, ArcGIS platform has three main components. It is made up of three high-level elements: an excellent developer experience to help you be successful by giving you access to our APIs and also the ability to use the mapping libraries of your choice. The centerpiece of ArcGIS platform is the comprehensive set location services that deliver content and capabilities and a simple, transparent, and easy to understand business model that is fully consumption based, where you only pay for what you use. All these three elements come together to provide an intuitive experience for accessing and using ArcGIS platform. Now let's look into some capabilities that we have. ArcGIS platform provide access to most comprehensive highest quality set of location services available. With these services, you can build powerful capabilities into your apps and solutions and deliver amazing geospatial content. You can embed mapping and analytics capabilities in your apps like data visualization, geocoding and search, direction and routing, and spatial analytics. You can also supplement your data with ready to use base maps and data services like demographics, POIs, live feeds, imagery, and more curated from authoritative data providers. So now let us look at some of the use cases to see these capabilities that I just mentioned in action. So in current times, we all know the importance of insurance. Insurance companies are managing huge data sets and their clients are spread across a variety of demographics. Now, what are some common challenges that are being faced by insurance companies day in and day out? Like knowing their customer positions, finding the proximity to hazard, thereby ensuring right products and service offerings, policyholder maps, insurers targeting customer maps, finding the cultural patterns for insurance recovery. The solution can be now let's see how ArcGIS platform can help get a solution for that. The solution can be having a good understanding of the demographics with the help of geo-enriched data, thus providing better analytical results for decision making. We can make multiple data-driven visualizations so as to suit every need. We can have the population density maps. We can have socio-economic status of the people, and we can even show educational background of people with the help of a dot density map. So let's move to a short demo of the population density mapping. We have a buffer area, which is based on our histogram is changing. The radius of the buffer can be increased or decreased, and the result can also be filtered on the based of the predefined age range. The map, to make the map look more informative, we can switch to above and below color ramp, which will provide us with better visualization of the scenario. Now, we can also check out the population distribution on the basis of income. So we have our charts, we have age range on on the basis of which we can filter the data on the map as well as our charts. So what can be another use case apart from insurance? Let's say we have a business to set up. So we will definitely need a site suitability analysis. Let's say a coffee shop. Some requirement to set up a coffee shop would be indication of the customers. Either we have shopping malls, markets, university, college, or government offices nearby. Do we have competitor in that certain area? What is the transportation available to that area? What is the visibility of the place? So uh, we can use the geocoding service on ArcGIS platform to find addresses, businesses, places around the world. Knowing where the customer and competitions are located and help optimize campaigns to ensure you are targeting the right audience. We can optimize this process and then create geographic analysis and market allocations to identify the best area. Here is a short demo for the same. In this map, as you can see, we have all the other coffee house locations nearby. Now we can also filter to see if we have any food outlets around us. We can click on the particular feature and see the data associated with it. Thus, we can make an informed decision using the geocoding service. And we can identify all other coffee shops in and around the area we are targeting to start or expand our business to. So how do you get started with ArcGIS platform as a developer? Your one-stop shop is the ArcGIS developers website at developers.arcgis.com. And on this homepage, you can get some basic informations. Here are some links to common entry points into documentation, a quick summary of some of the highlight features, ready to use and very flexible APIs and SDKs. The ability to host and manage your own content within your developer's account, and built-in spatial analysis tool. We'll discuss more about the ArcGIS developers later. So once you're at the platform, let's see what it provides. Moving on, here's the list of APIs and SDKs that is available on ArcGIS platform. ArcGIS platform provides a premium developer experience where you can use your preferred mapping API. The platform comes with a robust JavaScript API for web development, a set of APIs for mobile and desktop development, and scripting APIs, enabling you to automate your mapping and analytics. You can also use your own APIs with ArcGIS platform, allowing you to leverage the investment you have already made in your work without having to migrate or re-engineer a solution to use a different mapping library. So talking about all this, theoretically would be no use. What if we cannot see any of this in action? So here are a few demos in which we can see ArcGIS platform in action. So the first service is Basemap, a set of ready-to-use authoritative maps that can be used in the APIs of your choice with just a couple line of code. This includes dozens of pre-styled base maps designed by our team of professional cartographers, from neutral background maps to rich foreground maps, to maps that emphasize human geography or physical geography like topography. There are maps blended with elevation that give you an additional dimension of information. Today, Esri's location service deliver billions of base map views around the world on daily basis. Let's see how we can write that up with just a few lines of code. So I'll be sharing the GitHub link in the chat box where you can find all the demo codes that we'll be using from here on. So first, if you want, I'll show you, yeah, right here. So I have pre-made a basic web page, and we'll just launch it in the browser. Currently, I'm using VS Code as my default editor, but you can use whatever you like. So this is a basic web page having just a header and a blank page. These are just the that's all the two components in this web page. You can have multiple components as per your project or your needs. So how can I add a full-fledged map into this application? So I'll go to the ArcGIS developers account. We can go to documentations. We have here the mapping APIs and location service documentation. In this, you can find different things that are being provided on ArcGIS platform as a service. So we'll go into maps, and let's say we want a 2D map. So it will give you definitions, explanations, everything on what a map is, what a base map is, how you can add multiple layers, and etc. etc. Now, if we want to add a map, you'll need just two things. First, your API key, that also you can find in your developer's account. And second, to create a view. To create a view, we will first create a map. This is the basic code to create a map. Here we have the ArcGIS navigation, but you can use the streets or day and night maps. Once our map is created, we will need a view to store that map into. So here is the code to add a view. You need not learn anything. You need not memorize anything. You can just find everything right here in the documentation. Now, if we move further, we can find the whole code to set up a page. And so this is the only code that is required for you to set up a map. I have already added that in my script, so I'll just show it up. So within the script, I have added the APIs that were required. I have added my personal API key. You can use your own API key. I have added a new map. You can add multiple layers over it. Currently, I am having none, so we'll just let it be. Then I have created a view. We typically use two views. Either it's a map view for a 2D layer or a scene view if we want to create show 3D data. So currently we are just having 2D data, so I'll go with the map view. I have set a few other things like zoom and the center where I want to zoom my map to. Now the map that I have created is being stored in this part, and the container defines the only HTML element that we would need. So that would be this div, the view div. Apart from that, I can have title and anything else that I want to be on the web page. So I'll share. Now, as you can see, I have not added my API key to the config yet because I wanted to show what will happen if we don't use the API key. So if I don't use the API key, the application will ask me for login. It might be okay for if you are developing a personal application, but if you want a customer facing application, so this might not be right for you. So what you can do is you can obtain your API key directly. You can directly from here. I just need to sign in, and on the sign in page, you will have your API keys ready. So I have taken my API key, used it in my code, and if I pass it over here, you can see the application loads the base map. So this is how simple, with just a few lines. I think it's hardly 20 to 30 lines that I wrote, and I have a full-fledged map in my application. Coming back to the presentation, these are all the different kinds of maps that you can use. We recently have added a few more, so you can check them out. So moving on, what is a map if we cannot navigate it? So earlier there were many different ways to create a navigation over the map, but now we just have to use the pre-built widget, the direction widget. And you will have an output something like this. You have a pre-built map, you have the direction widget, you can select two or multiple locations as you need, and it will create a routing service. It will create a route using the routing service. So we will see this as well. We'll make this as well. So moving on, I have the routing code here as well. Since we are a little short on time, I'll explain the code, and it's all there on the GitHub link. You can download it and play around as you like. So I just have added a few other APIs like the locate button or the legends and a few different things. I have the same API key that I have been using. Now to show a layer, to show a route, I will be needing a feature layer. So I have created a route layer here, and I have added that over my map, which is being added in the view that we have just discussed in the previous example. Now, apart from this, I wanted to make it a little more interesting. So I added a few other widgets like the search widget, locate button, base map gallery, and etc. etc. Now, adding this on the map is not even a difficult thing. You just need to access the view in which you have been storing your map. You need to give it a position where you want to store your widget, and it will directly be added on the map. So let's see how the outcome of this comes out. So as you can see, I have the same base map that I was using the last time. Now I have added a search bar here, the locate button. If I want to change the base map, I can use that as well. Apart from this, I have the zoom in and zoom out options. On the bottom here, I have given a small info on how you can use your application. Closing this, moving on. Now on the right hand side, as I have shown within the code, I have created an instance of the direction widget and I have added it on the top right hand side. Here it is. So to use the direction widget, you just need to, you can either use a location, you can search an area, or you can directly click on the map. Let's say if I click here, this will be my starting point. Now, if I want to go somewhere, let's zoom out a little, somewhere here. So it will give me a route. Okay, I shall change the base map for better clarification. Yeah. So it will give me the route from the starting to the end point based on the driving time. And if I leave now, I can set a time specific departure, or I can just give it as time unspecified. Now it also creates routes on different ways. Like you can have a driving time or you can have a trucking time. If you are using a truck, it will definitely take you through highways or different roads. Or you can have a walking time, different ways to create a route. And you can have the distance, the time, and the all of it, like from where you have to take which turn, everything right here. Now, what if I want to add another location? I just go to add stop, select a third point, and it goes so on. So that was a map and adding a direction widget on the map with a couple lines of code. So now this was all about map and routing, but what if I want to see my data on the map? So we have another example for it, the heat map. So being able to visualize your data in unique ways is one of the strengths of ArcGIS platform. We give you the tools to make beautiful maps and discover new patterns and relationships. With maps and location, you can visualize complicated problems and you can see answers to then drive actions. So this is a map with a dummy data of crime locations. So as you can see on the left hand side, we have the heat map, and on the right hand side, we have the locations that were creating the heat map. So you can either see the exact location where the crime happened, or on an overview level, you can see the hotspot areas where you need to deploy more forces for the crime to decrease the crime. So let's see how we have created this whole thing. So going into the code of heat map, as you can see, we have first created a rendering layer. You need to define the rendering colors, or if you want to create a continuous color ramp, everything can be done, and every documentation is available on the ArcGIS platform. So I have created a simple render as heat map. I have given it different color stops based on ratio. I have created two layers. The first feature layer is for the heat map. The second feature layer is for the points that are being shown on the map. As in earlier demos, we have seen that we had the map. Now we already have the map. We are adding just our two layers over it, and we are adding the whole map on a view. And this goes on to the HTML part. Now, what we are doing here is when you zoom into the map, now we are adding a different few functions. Like when you zoom into the map, the thematic heat map will go away and you can see the exact crime locations. The whole code is for that part. Like the previous one, we have added a few widgets. We have the search widget, we have the locate button, base map gallery, and so on. Apart from all those, now we have also added a swipe widget, giving it the leading layer and the trailing layer so that we can, even on a higher level of view, see the location of the crime. So let's go to the application and we will see how it works. We have a small info on the left-hand side. As I told you, this is a dummy data. That's why it's specific to this place. Now we can see that we are having a heat map. So these are major crime hotspots as we can identify. in the legend, you can see that these yellow parts represent the high and the dark purple represent the low. So I can just use the swipe widget and swipe out the heat map and see the location of the crime points. Or if I move into a certain level, I can directly see the crime locations. So these are kind of innovative experiences that you can build for your customers or your products, etc. Moving on, we have another demo that I will just be showing the outcome of like what we can achieve with ArcGIS platform. So here I have a short demo video for this. So this is the data of Kansas where we have the earthquake and the oil wells data. So currently it is being shown in 2D. The X marks are the oil wells and the red spots, as you can see, are the earthquakes. The size of the red spot shows how the magnitude of the earthquake. We have all the different data in the pop-up as well. Now, if you zoom in, you can see how the spots are related to how the earthquakes are related to the wells. But both earthquakes and wells have another attribute, which is the height and the depth. Sorry, the depth. So if we turn it on to 3D, we can have a better visualization, like as to what is the exact location of the earthquake to the well and how it is affecting our well. Since drilling a well is a costly affair, thus the engineers needed to make sure that the wells are not directly in high earthquake prone regions. So as to make more informed decisions, they needed to analyze the earthquake patterns. And thus using ArcGIS platform, we build an innovative solution to that so that they can maintain old wells properly and have a better insight while digging the new ones. So that would be all uh, for the ArcGIS platform offering. If you have any questions, we can take them now.
Thanks a lot, Shubham and Anusha. I think a very thorough and informative session that goes into the depth of both the offerings. Shubham, I have a question of my own. Actually, we mentioned about insurance.
Yeah, right.
And I believe the recent development is that the insurance regulator has allowed for pay-per-use vehicle insurance. So I think that makes for a great application of what you were just showcasing, where you can kind of dynamically charge insurance based on how regularly and how extensively the vehicle is being used.
Definitely. We can have the location of the vehicles and we can have the whole map displaying what area the vehicle has been to. So that can give us an exact depreciation value as well.
Yep. Yeah. So that's a
So yeah,
very
that
clear use case right there.
yeah, you're right. So we can build something over it as well.
Great. So if anyone has any questions, happy to take them now. If at any point something comes up in your mind, you can drop us an email with your queries. We'll be happy to revert. So I guess fairly well explained by both of you, Anusha and Shubham. I don't see any doubts or any queries that are uh, visible in the chat.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just a second.
Yeah, Shailendra, I think you wanted to
yeah, we are
say
using the
something,
ArcGIS
please.
in the last 3 years, so we don't have any issue to publish the map and then publish the app also. But I have the question: the how build the custom widget in the the web builder. So anyone can help me out how to we can create the custom widget for the client. Because the client sometime asking the develop like import the CAD. I got the one requirement from my client side. They want to import the CAD data on the web map. So Shubham, can you help me out how we can do this task?
Importing a CAD data on the map web. Well, we can make a custom application to do that. First, we need to see what kind of compatibility we have with that.
Hmm,
And after that, we can definitely do it over. And using the widgets regarding web app builder, so
hmm.
we can make custom widgets in that, and we can even uh, use hosted custom widgets somewhere else with just a link. So I think that is being covered in this sixth sixth session of the webinar.
So
So
in
Yes,
that
actually,
they might show.
so in
yeah.
that case, we can create we come to know the how to create the widget and how we can test the widget is working in the local app, local host, right?
Yeah, exactly. You can have a whole web app builder as you go through ArcGIS platform. There is an option of downloads. In that, you can have web app builder
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well. We
I
have
have
the
downloaded,
ArcGIS
but
web app builder.
yeah,
Hmm.
I want to
So
the
within
something.
that, we
Yeah, good.
yeah within that you have the option to make custom widgets. There's
Yeah,
a little process to that, and I think that would be covered in our sixth session.
and the widgets are available on the net also, so that we have downloaded. But we sometimes we need to be custom something in the custom widget, so we can make the change and then test it out in the our local host. Then we can publish on the web. That is
Yeah,
possible.
definitely that can be done. Yeah,
Uh,
definitely. You can customize the visuals and use them directly in the web app builder.
So season 6 you will be go through that.
Yeah, probably in that session, they'll display how it is being done because web app builder is being covered under that.
All right, all right.
So I think Anusha had covered that in her session before Shubham you took over. Anusha, I think you wanted to come in and maybe help Shailendra with some inputs of your own.
Yeah, hi sir. Actually, I covered the configurable part only. The customization is also possible in Web App Builder, and we already have a session on that in the next to next Friday. So I hope when you join that, so that will be more clear to you that how we can customize a widget in Web App Builder.
All right, all right.
Yeah. Otherwise, you can reach out to us. We can help as well. No issues.
All right, Anushka. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks, Shailendra, for your question. Anyone else that might want to clear any doubts, any observations, any experiences on the product that you would like to share? We'll be happy to get your
Sure,
thoughts.
sure.
I think we'll hold up for another minute in case people are typing in their questions or just thinking of what might be appropriate for this session. Okay, so I guess we are good, Shubham, Anusha. I think session well taken.
I think there is a question on the chat. Like
Okay.
show the schedule inspection for the day on the map and what is the better way to follow the route. Abhishek, first you need to like exactly define the scope, like what your client wants, and after that you can scope through the documentation on ArcGIS platform because it gives many ready to use services. So you can, I think you will find the more like most of the code and examples and widgets that you would require for a project right there.
Okay, sure. Just to clarify, hi everyone, I'm Abhishek. And actually, we have a requirement from the customer to integrate with the ArcGIS, and this is for the US customers. We have a product for the licensing and case management and inspection process. So what happens, sometimes
Okay,
it
right.
happens, the inspectors before going out for an inspection, they schedule an inspection and
Okay.
they visit the site doing the offline inspection. So there can be multiple inspections scheduled for a day based on the inspectors. So what happens, they want to locate, because they are using, for locating those addresses, they are using their mobile phone or their other gadgets. So they want application, our application, to be integrated with ArcGIS so that they can see the addresses, locate, and then find the best route, like best way how to navigate from one address to another. Like, take example, one is located at location A, one address is located at B. So there can be multiple paths that can be followed, right? So they wanted what
Yeah,
is the
right.
best way they can move with the inspection process so they can complete it at early stage like this. They can be like, I don't want to create any maps or something like that. I just wanted to use what is available today, like whatever the base map is. But the
Mm-hmm.
requirement is we have a multiple, like I am storing addresses, not the geocode. So the first thing I will be using to geocode those addresses, then locate on the map, and then based on the inspector, locate what the inspection where it going to be scheduled at, like this. But there are more requirement, but that's what I try to understand, because this session today really helped me with the coding purpose, because I'm looking to integrate with the Angular code. So it will be not using the PaaS offering, rather than I will be using the SaaS offering. But I wanted to see before we move ahead, because there are we also looked for the Azure maps as well, but we need to decide. But it was recommended from the US customers to go with the ArcGIS offering. Okay.
So, Abhishek, I think part of your solution was covered today, but since you're using Angular, you can use the same thing. The syntax might be different, like the direction widget we just showed you. So, what I can understand is they like if inspector A has multiple locations, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he wants to cover them in the best possible way. Am I right?
Right. Yes,
And
that's
in the
correct.
shortest time.
That's correct. Yes.
So, I think first you will need to like as you said, reverse, you have the addresses, so you need to reverse geocode them, have the locations, plot them on the map if you want or not. Then you can pass on all those locations directly into the direction widgets, and it will give you the best route based on your requirement. Like if you want the least time, you can have the least time. If you want the
Okay.
least distance, that is also an option there.
Okay.
So after
So
that,
is there any
this can
like
all,
do
yeah.
okay?
Yeah,
You
I was just
mentioned
telling that there is a way to store all this offline as well if they need.
okay, that will help. Yes, because they might go for inspection with an offline mode. Not every area has a internet connectivity. So yes, that is a good option.
Right, right, right.
Another thing is that do you mentioned about like you can create your maps, you can add layers. So is it something like I have to create maps? Is there something base maps that is ready-made available? I just only pass on the geocode or plot them, and then whatever you mentioned, the direction visit and all. So pass the information to direction visit as a service or something, and then it can show me over the map. So is this
Yeah,
doable?
Yeah, definitely that can be done. You just need to connect the SaaS and the PaaS offering. Like in ArcGIS Online, you will have a web map. You can create a web map. You will have the ID of that particular web map. Now you can pass, like you can use that web map ID to create a map in your own code.
Okay.
Like we were doing with generic base map. So I was just creating a map and I was just adding a base map and giving it a center location. Instead of that, you can create a web map and pass that in your map. So that will solve your purpose.
Okay. So is there any documentation that I can refer what you mentioned, or is this available? Everything is available online. I will have to
Yeah,
search for that.
everything. No, everything is available online along with documentations on ArcGIS platform itself because all that is to be coded is there. You can even change the languages and see if there is an option like the SDKs and APIs that I showed you. There was, I guess, Esri Leaflet and Mapbox GSDL, but I'm not sure about Angular, but you can check it out. So the documentations are available online itself.
Okay. And is there any contact point that I can refer in case I need to ask further questions and all?
Yeah, you can definitely mail us on our mail IDs. I think Dhanraj might have shared that with the email that went out for the session.
Okay. I
So
will
you
do.
can drop
Thank
your
you.
queries
Sure.
at developer at esri.in. Abhishek, I'll be sure to send that across. In fact, let me just drop it in the chat right away.
Okay.
This is an email that you can drop your queries at, and we'll be sure that the team looks into them.
Sure. That will help. Yeah. Thank you, and Raj.
Thanks,
And
Abhishek,
thank you
for
so
your
much.
question. Thanks, Shubham, for taking that. I think we're good for now. No more questions coming in as yet. But always we're available for your queries. You can drop us your doubts at the ID mentioned in the chat box. We'll take them up. We'll have the team reach out to you. Um, so we have that sort of comes to an end to today's session. We have one planned same time next Friday, which the topic for which is spatial analytics. So we'll go into the depths of that. So hopefully looking forward to seeing you guys next Friday, 3 p.m. For another engaging discussion. And I think we're done for. Yashi has sent a documentation link. Abhishek, that's for you. I hope you can see the message in the chat. I think that's a relevant link for your use case.
Yeah, Dhananjay, thank you. I can see that. Thank you, Yashi.
All right, great. Thanks again, everyone, for joining in, and looking forward to connecting again in a week's time. Uh, Wish you all a fantastic weekend ahead, and take care. Thanks a lot again.
Thank you, Dhanush.
Thank you all for attending the session.
Thank you, everyone.